Next, let's move on. Let's look at A. Let's look at A. Okay, try to make an analysis based on the point of intent means based on A. Type in the chat box. Give it a try. Go ahead. Look at a dragon. Comment on the dragon. Look at the tiger. Comment on the tiger. And then what would be the possible effect of this kind of setup? 半途而废. Darren say 半途而废. Okay, good. Any inclination towards male or female when you say 半途而废? Male. Thank you, Darren. Male. Why male? The dragon side. Yeah, dragon side gone. Practically no support. When dragon side, look at it. This side here is a dragon. This side here is the tiger. Comparatively speaking, dragon no power at all. It's just like 气风水 missing sector like that. That means the energy for the male, let's talk about this as an office, the male staff in this office, like no power like that, like cannot perform like that, like bo liao like that. Basically, this is what it means when you say missing, no energy there. But you look at the tiger side refers to the female. The female relatively stronger than the dragon. So therefore, in office A, it seems that the female staff has more say or more fierce or more in control of the business. Okay, so it could mean that because of that, maybe male staff higher turnover, cannot tahan because they cannot perform. Come in already, even though you may perform elsewhere, but come to this office suddenly, like cannot perform suddenly, being overshadowed by the female, and you get low morale. Okay, so you quit lah, and then or perhaps male staff always not around. If they stay on, they have very strong parts energy. They may not be around. Okay, especially if nowadays we can work from home, they may choose to work from home if it's allowed lah. Okay, question so far. Darren say, if at home, if you're confident in yourself not enough, you'll be easily 被老婆 put cold water on yourself, especially if your father, your northwest and southeast not healthy. Very good. Very good point, Darren. If this is a home, then between the father and the mother, we know lah, at home, who has the final say lah. Okay, who has the final say? I think this is based on this energy, Okay, so usually we will see that whoever works in the office or stay in the kind of house, you find that the father, the inner world, can we straight away tell the inner world of the male member or the male staff or the father, how the inner world looks like? I think like what Darren said, not confident enough and things like that. They're not speak up, soft spoken. This is the inner world, and they will naturally go and choose this kind of house to stay in. Okay, so if you have this kind of inner world and you have this kind of outer world set up, then that is where you need to start working on your inner world, and at the same time, at the best opportunity, move house. Move house to a more balanced dragon tiger. Then things will start to click and start to change for you. Okay. Question so far? If no, let's move on. If you have, just type in the chat box. I will address them. Darren say his favorite phrase, 你不懂我. Okay, 你不懂我. Okay, good. Now, look at this slide here. We talk about A. We have the left side A and the right side B. Now, let's look at the A first. This is the dragon side. This is the tiger side. Dragon empty. Okay, dragon empty. Behind also empty. So that means there's no back support. There is no dragon. No back support, no dragon support, but there is a frontal clash. Remember, if this is a road, and we talk about how qi behave, if this is a long stretch of road, that means the qi will gain the momentum and gain the energy, and then clash into A. 准准 clash into A. So a lot of masters will say this is a 路冲. Okay, this is a 路冲, road clash. Right? So as a rule of thumb, if you don't know how to handle road clash, avoid A. Okay, avoid A. But if you know how to handle road clash, A is the best. Okay, I love. I when I pick clients, pick unit, select unit for my house, residential or even offices. Okay, I like to pick those with road clash, right? But of course, I provided you know how to manage a road clash. That one will bring in a lot of money. Okay. Now, while we say that road clash, 路冲 can bring in money because it's qi ma, what goes in there? Money go in there. Okay. But because you're behind got no 靠山, okay, got no 靠山. So can you imagine if you are a person standing on a empty road and you have a F1 car, okay, F1 car rushing to you in your direction, what will happen to you? You will fall back. Okay, you will fall back because you got nothing behind you to support you. So this is where you will fall hard time. Okay, hard time. So therefore, in terms of real life happening, it could be litigation. That means court case lah, legal suit lah, all these things. You get my point? Didn't say why southeast. Okay, so I leave it to Darren to help explain why southeast. Yeah. So that is for A. Okay. Now for B is also similar. Only thing is now is dragon is stronger than the tiger. The tiger is empty, behind also empty, but there's a road clash. Is very similar. Or it doesn't matter of flipping dragon and tiger. So without this one, I've seen without this one, a lot of court case. Or a lot of court case or near bankruptcy. Okay, or near bankruptcy because it can earn a lot of money, but when the qi feng shui kicks in, when the qi feng shui kicks in, wow, from number one in the market can drop all the way to being almost near bankrupt. Okay, that's why I say back support is number one. From my experience, I would say back support is number one. Okay, for this case, empty, but you can still earn money, right? So therefore, whatever you do, select always go for back support. Question so far? Any questions so far? Can you follow me? If you can, you're still with me, good with me, and understand what I'm saying, then type a yes in the chat box. And this say, so both are no good. Yes, both are no good. Okay, both are no good. Why? Because in the end, either you have litigation, means a legal case and things like that, or you have poor health. Poor health. That means all your money that you earn, you have to spend on medical fee or long-term medication. Lindsay, can you just explain retaining mountain? Okay, retaining mountain, very good. Next slide, I'll talk about it. Next slide. Okay, thanks, Lin, for the reminder. All right, so therefore, if you want this kind of road clash, your back cannot be empty. Your back cannot be empty. And it must have good kaosan. Darren says Southeast represent the level of mental wellness in you that for a person constant pour water by the other half, what will be the possible outcome to that person? Okay, so that is Darren's explanation as to why he mentioned Northwest and Southeast. Northwest being the father, southeast being the mental level, the mental wellness. Okay, so thanks, Darren, for the explanation. Thanks, Lynn, for the good question also. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about this. A again. Now, the tiger side, there are 3 units. Tiger side, there are 3 units. Dragon side, okay, 0. Behind, empty. Okay, behind, empty. Now, then you have the extension on the dragon side. Okay, extension of the dragon side. Now, when we talk about Ansan, okay, Ansan, can you assume, can you visualize for A, there is no, this one, no extension here. Okay, no extension here. Basically, if there's no extension, basically means that this unit A got no retaining mountain. Okay, got no retaining mountain. That means the qi can spread everywhere, can be dispersed everywhere. Right? But with that retaining mountain, that means this one will act like a retaining mountain. That means whatever the qi that can be redirected or rechanneled into this area, it will just bounce around this area here. Okay, bounce around this area here so that A is able to slowly tap in the qi. So this one, the extension here acts as a retaining mountain. Retaining mountain means retain back all the qi so that it just gather around in front of A. So you get a point, Lin, about retaining mountain. We want to have a retaining mountain, but there is a condition for a retaining mountain to be good and effective. Question so far? Lin, are you okay with that? Retaining mountain? Darren say, as you mentioned, road clash is quite a good opportunity. However, what type of condition we need to have? Number one, back support. Number one, back support. Number two, you must know how to slow down the qi. Okay? If without back support and you don't know how to slow down the qi, 可以死人的 or can kill people one. Right? So I think in many of my other classes, I think I mentioned before during COVID year 2020, where every businesses start to cut down size down, downsize. Okay, I help a client to upsize, shift office, upsize, triple the floor area. Okay, and the earning was I think so much more in 2020 and 2021 than previous years. How I did it? I make use of Lu Chong. All right. So, Darren, back to your question. Number one, must have Kao Number two, you must know how to slow down the qi. Is that okay, Darren? So Lin says, so it's about a mountain setup in front. Yes, we want a mountain, but not so high a mountain. Not so high a mountain. Okay, that's why it's called Ansan, a stable mountain. As in a holding barrel. That's it. As a holding barrel. That's it. Okay, a good word. And he says, sorry, any example on that? Example on what, Andy? Darren say, any tip on slowing down? Make it meandering. One simple way is to make it meandering. One simple way. Right. So, Andy, just let me know what do you mean about an example on that. Which one? The Ansan or talking about this slide here? Lin says, sorry, I realized the content are not found in the workbook. Can you show us the past few slides to screenshots? Past few slides, the content? You mean this slide is not in the workbook? From where? From where onward? Sorry, from where? This one? Or this one? The characteristics and possible effect. Oh, okay. That is supposed for you to pay attention and write it down. All right. So that you can pay attention to what I say and then write it down. So start from where? And they say back support and the unsun different. Okay. The un is not the duck, not the ming or un. Is actually stable. Un, where's my pen? If I'm not wrong, the Chinese word should be this one. if I'm not wrong, an a stable mountain. I mean like a plateau, like a very short plateau mountain like that. This is what it means by ansan. Okay, and is ansan is required in the facing, right? Back support mountain is required at the back. That's the difference between kaosan and ansan. Kaosan is at the back, ansan is in front. Is that okay, Andy? All right. So Lin, where do you want me to flashback the slide to? This one? Is it this one? Andy says, so my back is covered. Is it considered? If you talk about the what do you call that? The internal form feng shui, yes, then a cupboard can be your kaosan. Yes, you can. We'll talk about the internal one tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. Today we'll talk about the external first. Lindsay, I think all that shows the content for critical and possible outcome and possible effect. Okay, let me see. This one. Start from here. Yeah. Okay, so you can take screenshot, Lin. Let me know once you're okay with this slide. I'll forward. In the meanwhile, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I will address them. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Did I miss out anything? Darren say have a stable mountain is going to help us to focus better and make better selection of choice when opportunity flow to us. Yes, so that you can bounce back the qi. If it's flowing out, the ansan will help you to bounce back the qi to you. Okay, next slide. Okay, Lin is already next slide. Any other question? So let me emphasize one more time. From my experience, you don't don't have to believe a thing I say. Between the four animals, the celestial animals, the back support is the most important, in my opinion. Because I've seen cases after cases where there's no back support. It's either long-term medication, poor health, and then legal suit, and then sudden death. All right. But if you have kaosan, even though you met into something serious, you might have a chance to recover. Is it okay, Lin? Can I go to the next slide? Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay. This one. Next slide. Let me clear off the ink. Okay. Let me clear the ink. So far, do you know anyone with this kind of setup that we have discussed before? Perhaps your own, perhaps your neighbor, perhaps your friend. And you can do your own verification. Okay, so I think we okay we ended here. We ended here. So we have not discussed this, right? Okay, let's talk about this. All right, let's talk about this. So I think Lin, you have already catch up already. All right, so let's continue from here. Okay, where was I? Okay, talk about A. A, the dragon is empty, back is empty, and the tiger, okay, strong, relatively stronger. Right. So when we decide whether dragon stronger or tiger stronger is always a relative terms. We have to look at a dragon, then we look at a tiger, then we decide relatively who is stronger. If you look at it alone, you can't tell whether tiger strong or weak until you look on the other side. Okay, so it's always a relative term. So in this case, tiger is strong, is stronger. There's no back support, there's no dragon support, there's no and then yet there is a dragon crossing the hall. No dragon, yet forcefully there is a dragon crossing the hall. So basically, if you have this kind of setup and if you're working in this kind of office, let's say you are the department running this VP or CEO running this office in A. And inside this organization, you have male staff, female staff, and things like that. Straight away, it should give you a good inkling that male staff that you have recruited tend to be less competent. The word less competent, I'm not saying no competency at all. I'm just saying relative term, less competent than those female staff that you recruited. I'm assuming you are the CEO. Okay? Male staff less competent. And then because it's empty, means the energy for the male staff tends to be also empty, like empty vessel. Okay, like empty vessel, yeah. But this should not be a blanket statement. This cannot be a blanket statement. This is can only tell you in general. Okay, in general. So, yet, male staff, less competent, empty vessel, yet there is an extension of the arm all the way crossing the hall. What can this mean? Imagine a person, less competent, looks like empty vessel, but forcefully has an extension out, arm extension out. What can it mean in real life? It means empty vessel, yet like to boast. Bo liao, yet trying to say, I can do it. I know how to do it. I can complete it. Give me the assignment. Okay? Something like that. So in Chinese, it's called 虚有其表. And who does it apply to? Male. So if you are a department head in that kind of, let's say you're not CEO, but you're in a department head and your office is like that, then you know your male guys, you may need to pay more attention. So when the male staff report to you, bring you results and things like that, or brings you some news or information or updates, you may want to scrutinize their work. Okay, scrutinize because they are like less competent and they may have empty vessel and they like to boast and they may inflate, okay, their numbers to you, right? That's to show that they are doing the job, they are competent enough. Okay, but on the other side, the female, competent, strong, right? Only thing is that 他们不喜欢出头。Darren say, or else you may end up crash the wall. Thank you very much, Darren. So this is how we can tell the dynamic of the staff. So if you are working in that kind of office setup and then you always grumble, say, oh, why my male colleague are all cannot make it one, blah, 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 blah. If you have this kind of setup, I think you know why. It tends to attract male staff to sign up for posts in that kind of office with this kind of setup. Is that okay, everyone? Can follow? Type type a feedback for me if you can follow me and you're still good. Are you okay? Type a yes if you're okay. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Andy. So Lynn and Samuel, I hope you are also okay with the flow here and you understand what I'm saying. Thank you, Samuel. Okay, let's move on. Let me change. Okay, let me change some conditions. Maybe a small condition, and I say that the dragon remain empty. The dragon remain empty, but behind, not empty anymore. Behind there is some back support. Behind there's some back support. Now, how would this back support make any difference in what we see as opposed to the previous slide? The previous slide was back empty, dragon empty. But this slide here, dragon is empty, but behind got a bit of support. So therefore, dragon also crossing the hall. So therefore, the only change is that the male staff tends to do some work, not saying less competent or empty vessel, maybe got something in their competency, maybe wu liao a bit lah, but not as much as the female staff lah. But like I said, this should not be a statement that kills everyone lah. It's just a general statement. Okay, so in that case, maybe male staff tends to work maybe about 30%, and then 70% bowls, do a bit, then bowls, a lot, but wu liao one. Okay, but like to bowls only. So this is how you can do analysis and talk about the dynamic. Whether it is a house setup or office setup, it's the same. It's the same. Okay, let's move on. This one, we flip. We flip. Now is tiger empty. Now is tiger empty. Tiger is empty. Back is also empty. Dragon is strong. Okay, and then the tiger crossing the hall. I think you see this kind of setup pretty often. All these setup that I've shown you are the more commonly seen kind of setup that you can see in Singapore. So what it means here is very similar with the dragon side one. Is the only thing that we flip from male to female. Okay, so female less competent, females empty vessel yet like to boast. So it's 虚有其表. Lin say, why do I say it is more common? When I say common, basically what I mean is that this kind of setup you can see pretty often with the urban build-up that we see in urbanized environment, like that. Blocks of building here, cut into units, and then opposite side you have a road. Right in front there's a road, and then opposite side there's also building. All these are very common in Singapore and in most urbanized country also, right, in cities. So this is, I'm actually tailoring this kind of slides to suit urbanized living, not so much of the rural living. That's why I say it's more common. Is that okay, Lin? Lin said, oh, not just tiger or dragon crossing. I'm not talking particularly about dragon tiger crossing. I'm saying that, most urbanized living will have this kind of one building on one side, another building on another side, and in between is the road. Okay, in between is the road. So with this kind of structure coming up in the CBD area, in the HDB area, then this is how we read. Okay, next scenario. Look at A again. Dragon is empty. Okay, dragon is empty. Tiger is strong. And then tiger crossing the hall. We may look at the characteristics and we may look at the possible effect on the right side. So basically means tiger is strong. And tiger, extend the arm out also. So is female dominance. Male, empty. Okay, male, empty. Right? I didn't talk about the back support here is because depending on with back support and without back support, is there any difference? I think let's put this as a question to you. With back support and without back support, could there be any difference to this? Type in the chat box. Darren say, here's my insight of sharing. Support 有想法 Dragon, plan and progress. Tiger, action to execute. Ming Tang, choice of opportunities. Crossing Hall, the desired outcomes that being contributed by support. Dragon, Tiger, and Ming Tang together. Very good. Very good. 有想法 can also means the dragon side. Okay, 有想法 can also means the dragon side. Yeah? 有魄力 can means the support side. The back support, 有魄力. Do you have the drive or not? Okay. Would there be any difference whether there is a support or no support for this case? So having said that, when we say we want to co-create your outer world, right? Let's say you are a female. Okay, let's say you're a female. and you are looking for jobs, and then you go to, and then you have a, you go to an interview. Okay, someone call you up for interview, and the office happen to be A, and with this kind of setup, okay, you are female, and you are a career-minded person. Okay, career-minded person. Now, you go in, you look at this, okay, you go to A, and you scan around the surrounding, and it looks like this. Okay, look like this. Would you want to join this company? You are female, you're career-minded, and you've been called up for a job interview at A. Would you want to join this company if all other conditions are met? And they say yes. Why? Lin say, but may mean overworking for the females. Career-minded, ma'am. So career-minded women usually, I think, are prepared to do some overworking. Am I correct? I may be wrong, but I think so, because career-minded, you want to show off, not say show off, want to be able to perform and then have achievement, right? And then maybe climb up the corporate ladder. So a bit of overworking, I think they are expecting that as well. So Andy say good for a lady. Very good. Okay, let me tweak a bit. You go for the interview, you sit in there, and the interviewer tell you that you are going to report to a male boss. Okay, would you want to take up the job? Darren say, hopefully they don't fire the boss. Haha. Okay. Lin say, wow, I call the shots. Laugh out loud. Okay, good. So now, Lin, you know how to see now. So okay, back to my question. If you go for interview and the interviewer tells you that you're going to report to a male boss, would you still want to take up this job? What kind of consideration and concern would you have? Darren say cross finger. Okay. Lin say likely, but also depends the makeup of the team. Okay. If mostly are female staff, okay. I'm now throwing some more. So this is what you can do with this information, this knowledge that you have, these skills that you have when you go for interview lah, or you go for 怎么讲? Let's say you go for negotiation, okay, or collaboration with company A, all right, and then you look at their companies like that one, and then you're going to talk to a male boss. You're going to negotiate with a male boss. You know the balance of power already. You know the balance of power. So Lin say, got capable hands, but maybe also means more aggressive dynamic. Yeah, very good, very good. So if you are career minded, and you want capable team, and you found that all are mostly female staff, then 好死了. But if you are going to report to a male boss, then you may need to consider few points. Number one, since this office is not that good for male, then your male boss may be buay zai type. You know what's buay zai type? Okay, when thing goes wrong, he will go galang kabut. Okay, don't know how to handle, and then don't know how to report upward, and then reflect the truth, or resolve things with the upper boss, upper management. Then the stress will be cascaded down to your. That's number one. Number two, if you think you're fine with that, because the lousier the male boss is, the better your chance of taking over is there, then you may want to take up the job. You get my point? So there are a few considerations that you may want to take note, but you need to know how your inner world work first. So that when you purposely go and work for this kind of company, this kind of external setup, that's where your inner world and outer world can click and make things move faster. Is that okay? Right? Next, how about this? Let's change some span. Darren say, 那么听就好了，听太多会毒死你. If you're able to survive well, means you have to study well in AOM. Yep, we need AOM to come in as well, out of maneuvering, so that you make your next best move each time. Okay, let's look at this. Where was I? A. Okay, A, strong dragon, right? Strong dragon. then not strong dragon. Wrong. Strong tiger. Tiger crossing the hall, but dragon side empty. Not only empty, got movement some more. Got movement. Okay, got movement. Right? So what does it mean? No dragon support. Outflow dragon water. Look at the movement. When I say look at movement means is it coming in or is it going out? In this case, it is going out, going away. Okay. And then strong tiger, tiger crossing the hall. So what it means here, there could be wealth leak because it's going away. It's going away. That's number one. Possible events are wealth leak. Number two, there could be burglary. Why burglary? Because dragon side is 砍卦. Remember, tiger side is 离卦. 砍卦 means danger, danger lah, thieves lah, robber lah, burglary lah. It can mean this way. So when 砍卦, there's a lot of movement and it is moving away one, it could mean burglary also. So you need, if you have shop called A, you need to increase your security level. That means put in extra lock, put in CCTV and things like that. And because the dragon side is movement, it can also mean maybe higher management turnover. Maybe your boss always keep on changing, or the GM always keep on changing. Something like this. Can follow? Not too difficult, because if you slowly dissect area by area, dragon, how does it look like? Tiger, how does it look like? Got back support or not? Where's the movement, inward or outward? And then got crossing the hall or not? Crossing from where? Dragon or tiger? You put all these things together, you connect the dots, that will give you a very good appreciation of that A. So Darren say it means while handle the boss, you need to give choice as good and as no choice. Yep. All right. Okay, next, if I change the span, I change the scenario, as in instead of moving out water, the water is coming in. When I say water, means this traffic means water flowing traffic is coming in. Then the change in the dynamic is that A may have wealth opportunity. Okay, we may have wealth opportunity, but yet it remains the same, that is female dominance. Okay, now let me show you one example here. Let me go through a few more slides, then we go for a break. I know now it's 3:30 already. Look at this. I'm not sure whether you know this place or not. I have a corporate client. They rented this unit here. Okay, this extreme right corner, this unit. They rented already, then they call me down to feng shui the unit and say use it as a showroom. I told them 很难做. Okay, 生意很难做. Right? So why? Are you able to tell why already? Behind, if I'm not wrong, behind is a drain. If I'm not wrong, it's a drain or a walkway, an alley lah. Lin say before the break, can you show the previous slide? Thank you. Okay, previous slide. This one. Okay, if you're done, let me know. Balestier, Andy, thank you. Balestier, you know the place well, huh? Okay, good. All right. So describe unit A based on what you have learned so far. Describe unit A. Unit this circle unit, the extreme right unit. Describe as what we have done earlier on for the last few slides. Describe. Type in the chat box. Your turn now. Like I said, don't rush into the analysis. Chop it down into smaller chunks. Like say dragon, how's a dragon? Tiger, how's a tiger? Back support, front support, the front bright hall, how's things, and put everything together. Make your comment. Samuel say, is this a corner shop with two possible facing or just one side opening? One side opening. Good question. Good question. One side opening. And where you see right now, the motorcycle, that is the facing. So it's facing us. The facing is facing us. Samuel said, no dragon, strong tiger. Very good. No dragon, strong tiger. Very good. Some more? They're using that as a showroom. Okay, showroom. So anyone else? Just comment whatever you can see. Samuel say front partially obstructed. Very good. Very good. I will believe this obstruction here is too near. Okay, too near. Right? This obstruction here is too near. If there is a big fence like that, that would be good. A big fence like this. Okay. The front area, is it a car park or just a few slot for motorcycle? The entire stretch is car park. The entire stretch is car park. Front is a busy road. Yes, front is a ballasted road lah. Or busy road. Okay. Once you have commented, then why did I say, or what is your view of this unit? Can take on this unit? Anyway, my client took on this unit already lah. Can take on this unit if let's say you have a choice to take or drop. Would you take or drop? What do you think? Okay, first of all, dragon is a road. All right, 没有靠没有靠 empty. So dragon 没有靠 means the superior or the male also 没得靠 no strength, no energy. So not that good. Okay, behind there's a small alley there, not that good also because the support is not really there. Right, and then the front there's some obstruction, so not really good also because of like what Darren just mentioned, the front can means the opportunities. Although we say you want an unsun, but this unsun is just too near for comfort, so not that good. Okay, it's blocking opportunities to come in. So therefore, when I told my client the best is not to take it up, they told me too bad, already locked in for 3 years. Wrong, 2 years. Okay, 2 years. Then I say bo pian, no? Then we just have to make good with the insight, just to make you tong all the way. Enough for 2 years. You won't lose that much. And once 2 years is up, don't renew. Don't renew. Find another better place to shift to. Okay. So I also told them a workaround is don't employ male staff. Why don't employ male staff? Now you can tell, right? Why don't employ male staff? Employ only female staff to run the showroom. Okay. So they did all this, and end of the 2 year, they stopped leasing the place. And this time around, they learn to be more quiet already. So when they start to go and search for a better unit, they call me down as well. Okay, and this is the client, the corporate client that I told you just now in 2020 COVID year. People downsizing, I help them to upsize, okay, and triple their floor area, right? Okay, so this is how we grow together, huh? All right, so this is one very classic examples here. If you don't have a dragon support, especially for business, it's very tough. Indeed, they're 2 years. They just barely break even only. Gam gam ho. Darren say, well, once my client used to be there, they had been for more than 10 over years. However, when they raise the price, no negotiation, tell them to go heartlessly. Taking unit is one thing, think the quality of the landlord from feng shui view. Very good. Okay, thanks, Darren, for sharing this experience. Yep, indeed. Okay, I think now it's 3:30. Wait, Lindsay, Master Yo, can you show me 2 slides before this? The one about crossing tiger, 2 slides before this. Number one, number two. This one? Okay, once you are done, let me know. Okay, good. So let's stop here for a short break. Let me go to my break slide with the timer there. Okay, here you go. Okay, so go for 10-minute break. And then come back. We'll resume on time at 10 minutes. So I'll start a timer now. I will see you back in 10 minutes time. See you. Okay, thumbs up. I hope all of you are back. I know Lynn is back. Andy is back. Darren is back. How about Samuel? Samuel, I hope you are back too. Okay, thank you. Let's resume. Let me go back to the slides where we stopped just now. Okay, so we stopped here just now before the break. So let's move on. Just now, Lynn asked about the burglary part. Let me pull out a clean slides. Let's talk about a house. Frontage is here. Okay, so this is the facing, and facing is the kun kwa, right? Left left dragon is kan kwa. Okay, right tiger, right tiger is li kwa, and behind is qian kwa, which is the back. Now, when we say movement on the left side, especially going outward, means like going outward, right? It can mean money going outward. Now, money going outward, how will the money be going outward? It could be number one, spending by the male, because left side is making the water go out. So one way it could be the male spending more money. That's number one. Number two, because this is kan kwa, left side is kan kwa. And in the universal profiling system, we say that kan kwa can mean danger, can mean thieves, can mean robber, can mean scam, can mean all sort of no good things lah. All the danger and all these things are a trap and things like that. So therefore, it could be a money losing by burglar or robber or thieves. Is that okay, Lynn? Does that answer your question? Okay, good. So let's continue. Right, good. Thank you. So overspending, yes, indeed, it can mean overspending by who? Most likely by the male, because it's on the dragon side. So we will drill even deeper in the new program called the Feng Shui External. So I will leave it at this because it's enough for you to a lot of things already based on what I have shared with you in this program. Okay, but if you want to improve further, then come for that program. That one we drill deep in. Okay, let's move on. Now, let's talk about this kind of scenario where dragon is strong, no tiger, no tiger. Okay, and then dragon is crossing the hall. So this like flipping over, no tiger support. Then the outflow by tiger water, outflow of tiger water. We have strong dragon, dragon crossing the hall. So the wealth league, okay, the wealth league could be the female members of that house or office, would be the one spending more. Okay, spending more, right? And then if you talk about office or businesses, then tiger side can represent the customer, and the customer is going away. Going away means maybe probably very low customer loyalty. If your business model is depending on recurring customer, then unit A will not give you this kind of effect of recurring customer or customer loyalty, right? So this is how you read. And then when you select A for businesses, or when you help your friend to pick A, know that what kind of effect can this A brings if it's for businesses. Okay. Next, A. Look at A. Now this A is actually in between two very tall buildings. I call this overwhelming buildings, or tall dragon, tall tiger. Now in this sense, I call it overbearing. Overbearing dragon, overbearing tiger. Now no brainer. If you have been stuck in between two superpower, you will feel high pressure, high stress. That's like smaller countries stand in between China and US. They will feel very stressed. Okay, same thing with feng shui, right? Now, when we say overbearing, anything that cross beyond more than 2 times, I consider it as overbearing already. So if let's say your building is 5 floor, okay, 5 floor, and you have this one that is 20 floor or 30 floor, that is considered overbearing. Okay, and what will it leads to? High pressure, high stress. So if you go for job interview in A, and you find that A is actually squeezed in between two overbearing dragon and tiger, oh, if you cannot take stress one, don't go for A, because you'll be super highly pressurized, super high stress environment. And then if you can't handle it properly, suicidal tendency. Have you seen workers, employees jump down? It's because of all these things. Okay, all these things. This could be contributing factors. Not all, but could be contributing factors, right? And that also depend on the inner world. So those with suicidal tendency, or no confidence one, when they probably will pick themselves in A to work in A. Okay. Next, how about the opposite way? Opposite way. A is super tall, very outstanding. Then the surrounding is like 1 story, 2 story. Okay, but A is super, super tall. Now we say super, super tall and it's outstanding like this, then we can say that A is outstanding and it has weak dragon, weak tiger. So the possible effect, it could be attention seeker. Okay, attention seeker, because you want to stand out, want to stand out. So people, in stay in A or working in A, maybe the boss like to stand out one, like to attention seeker. Okay, even when they launch a new product, they want the whole world to know about it one. And then it could be a lonely syndrome also, because it's stand alone. Okay, stand alone. And because it's dragon empty, tiger empty, and so that wind can pass through. When we say when wind can pass through like this, there's no way for them to gather the wind, trap the wind. Therefore, when qi get dispersed, nothing prosper. So it can mean wealth leak. Darren say, 不是铁棒磨成针，是磨成粉吹啊。Okay, 吹。Right. Thank you very much, Darren. All right. So sometimes we not only learn how to read the characteristics, like for example, being outstanding and having weak dragon, weak tiger. We want to also learn how to translate that into real life human experiences. Like for example, attention seeker, lonely syndrome, or wealth leak. Okay, I don't expect you to straight away can remember all these things. The best way is you go and read some more. Read means go out there, read the actual buildings, and then write it down. And then if you have opportunity to verify, you go and verify. Next, let's talk about A again. Okay, A, there is a slope coming down this way. Okay, facing this way. And then behind there is a slightly taller building as back support. So there is a strong back support, and it's able to collect frontal water. Because why can collect frontal water? Because it's a slope downward. If there is a rain, okay, if there's a rain, then the water most likely will just roll down the slope and gather right in front of A. And that is the best point to tap in the qi. So this would be a good wealth catchment area. But of course, provided that the slope cannot be too steep, cannot be too steep like this. Okay, these too steep like this become a blockage already, become an obstruction. But what we want is gradual. And best is if the road coming down is meandering one. Very gradual, very gentle. That's the best one. So that's now Darren asking about how to slow down the qi, right? If it's a gentle one, good, it's already slowing down by itself. Lin is asking, sorry, wealth leak due to what? Wealth leak due to the wind. Where's my pen? Okay, the wind is able to blow left and right, front and back. And then when the wind blow, it disperses away the qi. When disperse away the qi means the wealth is going away lah. Okay, good. Next. Now on the flip side, if the frontage is a sloping downward in this manner, sloping away downward, then this is a well flick. Very obvious well flick. Anyone have this kind of house, or do you know someone staying this kind of setup? Oh, this one is don't stay. The more you stay, the more you spend, the less money you have in your bank account or in your pocket. Don't stay out. That one very easy to see. Very easy to see. How about like that? A, facing this side, behind nothing but a back slope downward, away. Okay, this is wealth reducing effect because there is no back support. And not only no back support, it is sloping away, sloping down away. So therefore, money also leak. And this kind of setup is 越住越穷. In Chinese called 越住越穷. You know, rich people move in there. I think in few years time, they become pauper or declare bankrupt or become normal, got to shift into HDB. Something like that. So don't go for this kind of unit. Next, what if you are A facing here, but right next to it is one very tall overbearing building? Straight away is called overbearing bright hall. I don't consider this as a good ansan. This is a lousy ansan, right? Because it's not serving you any purpose at all. All right. Ansan by right should be slightly lower. Okay, should be maybe about this height. Maybe about this height. Okay, I'll explain more in the full program of Form Feng Shui of this height. Not so high. Okay, and should be further away also, so that you have enough space to gather all the qi. But this case here, the tall building is overbearing. Now, the frontage or the bright hall can also means the junior. Behind is the ancestor, so in front is the junior, or maybe your children, or maybe your employee. Okay, so employee tend to overstep if it's the office. If A is the office and you have this tall building like this, and you're the boss inside there, sibei jialat to work. Why? Your employee don't listen to you, climb over your head, overstep your authority, things like that. And it can also mean customer. Behind can mean the boss. In front can mean the customer. So you may have a demanding customer, step all over you. You sell a $1 pen, they ask for $5 voucher. You know, something like this. Okay. And then in front means your prospect, your future. And now what happened to your future? Your future is blocked like anything. So your future is very low. And in front also means your opportunities. Right? So it's blocked like this and it's so near. Therefore, opportunities also don't no opportunities. Even if there's opportunities, likelihood it will be being snatched away. Okay. Same thing for internal house layout. If let's say you have a work desk. Okay, you have a work desk. This imagine this is the wall. Okay, this is the wall, and you have the work desk here, and then you are sitting here. Okay, sitting here, and straight away your desk is against the wall. This is as good as this one. As good as this one. Okay, so external like that, internal like that, really means your opportunities is so much reduced. Okay. So nowadays, if you see BTO condo, the area getting smaller and smaller, and then you tend to be able to see the opposite building, and you can tend to be able to see inside their living room, inside their bedroom, and things like that. So near for comfort. All these are blocking your bright hall, blocking your prospect, blocking your opportunities. Now, if the tall building is behind, if tall building behind like this, like say if it's more than 2x, okay, I'll call this as overbearing. Okay, so this could be a bit overbearing. Now, then it's a bit conflicting, right? We say we want to have block support and back support, and yet this is overbearing back support. So overbearing back support, good or no good? In a way, yes, you have support, but your superior will demand high standard from you, will demand a lot of things for you. So it means it's going to give you a lot of stress, but at the same time, will know how to take care of you. So that means if you put in your hard work, put in your stress, you do it, you'll be rewarded, duly rewarded. But you must be able to take up the stress. Okay. The best is the back building lesser than 2x. Okay, lesser than 2 times the height. Then that'll be the best ideal height for back support. Can follow? Darren say depend. Good for mid age, maybe not easy for retire. If my age like that, I don't think I want to go for this kind of stress. Even though it could be very high pay, good bonus, I may not want to go for this kind of stress. Okay, so like Darren, I think you're absolutely correct. It may not work for people like me like that. I can't go for that. Okay, now look at A here, this slide. A could be facing this way here, but behind could be canal, MRT track, expressway behind. So this is the back support. Whether there's back support or not, if you look at this, is movement, don't have. Okay, so movement at the back means no back support. And when you have no back support, means you have no 贵人 to back you up. That's number one. And you could be inviting 小人 to come in. Okay, and you could be in debt, right? Because no money coming in. All right, so we don't want back to have movement. We want to have support, right? So another case study here. I remember I was helping one of a corporate client also to pick a showroom again, a showroom. Okay, but it happened that this showroom that they have the agent recommended them was on the other side. On the other side, not this side that you're seeing here, but on the other side facing the main road. Okay, it's facing the main road. Seems good, right? Facing the main road. Okay, but when we walk around with the client and come to the back, so this is the back of the showroom. We find that wow, there is one big long MRT track running just right behind, cutting across the entire back of the building. Basically means if you're going to pick up that let's say the showroom, the back is movement. 做不掉 okay, 做不掉 no 贵人 a lot of 小人 and things like that. So I told them don't pick this unit, pick elsewhere. And they say no lah, all the competitors they like to use this area here to use as their showroom. Okay, this is what they told me. The client told me, say, hey, this is the best area for this kind of industry that we are in. So this is a good area. I say, if you want, you continue. If you don't want, then you better, search elsewhere. And I also asked them, do you know of any 同行 in this area? And he said, yeah. We know of few 同行 in this area also. They have also a showroom. So I say, shall we go and visit them? So we walk, and then we walk to one of the 同行 showroom, lock and close. And then when we peep inside, it become a storeroom. Okay, so the client call up that 同行 and say, hey, what happened to your showroom here at this place here? They don't no business, no business, and they lock in their tenancy for 2-3 years. So bo pian, got to convert that into warehouse, into storage, and have to tong that 2-3 years until the tenancy over. So basically, this is what it means. If you make that choice, then you have to tong all the way. But if you are doing showroom hunting, if you can drop this, then drop this. Right? It's always about making the right choices. Okay, so there's so much about how to read the external surrounding based on visual, without the need of any 罗盘, and then make sense out of it. Any questions so far? If you are still good with me and I can proceed with the rest, type a yes in the chat box. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Lynn.